cryptocurrency options and futures exchange Deribit has been hacked, with $28 million being drained from its hot wallet. Here we have a tweet from the company saying that client assets have not been affected, but withdrawals have been temporarily halted as the exchange makes security checks. And we have the Deribit Chief Commercial Officer, Luuk Strijers, joining us now to discuss. Luuk, welcome to the show. I'm so sorry for these passing events. Maybe you could tell us a bit about what happened first.
Yes, thanks. What happened is that the hacker has been able to get access to our wallet server, which enabled him or her to initiate withdrawals from our hot wallet, which meant that, so we keep like 99% of our assets in cold storage and only around 1% in our hot wallets, and the hacker got access to these hot wallets. So we purposely keep the balances low, but yeah, the hacker got access to those. So that's what happened. We've seen around midnight UTC, we've seen withdrawals for BTC, ETH, and USDC. The USDC has been converted into ETH, and BTC and ETH are now on external addresses outside of our control, and we're looking at ways to gain access, but that will prove to be difficult.
That happened. Nobody likes to see a hack impacting people. But you also say that client assets have not been affected. How is that possible?
Because we guarantee the loss. So 28 million has been lost, which is covered by Deribit assets. So we commit to compensate the loss, and hence there will be no impact for clients.
So Luuk, how did the hacker get access to the hot wallet? I mean, did somebody at Deribit click on a link from a fake Elon Musk tweet saying, you know, click here and I'll pay you, you know, an airdrop or something? I mean, what happened?
We're still looking at the attack vectors, as it's called. We can't share beyond what we've shared at this moment, but we're looking exactly into that, how the access was gained. But first and most important is to secure the current setup. That's why we halted withdrawals. We aim to open up withdrawals later today, but for security reasons we've halted them, and we can't expedite this, so we can't rush opening up for the at the expense of security. So we need to be like 1,000% certain that all is okay before we open up.
Now, you mentioned that the $28 million will be covered by the reserves of Deribit. How much do you have in reserves, and you know, how much are you able to sustain here?
Good question. We typically don't communicate about our balance sheet. We have around 40 million in the insurance fund, which will not be touched for this event, and we have retained earnings from simply revenues beyond that, and the retained earnings will cover the loss. So we will not touch the insurance fund, and the loss will be payable simply by company reserves outside of client impact.
Now, do you have your own insurance, company insurance? In other words, are you covered by any kind of insurance yourself?
No.
That's not okay.
It's covered. So yeah, the insurance fund is a separate fund, which is covered, which is the fund covering leverage positions essentially. And this fund is a backing for anyone trading, and we will not use this fund to compensate the loss. So this will purely be at, let's say, the shareholders' expense.
So I think the casual onlooker feels that like there are crypto hacks every 5 minutes. And the truth is that we are actually seeing a string of crypto hacks. October was a record month. There were over $700 million stolen in the first 2 weeks alone. So what's going on? Is there any kind of link between all this hacking activity? Like, why are we seeing so many more hacks now than we used to? And there weren't few hacks, you know, to begin with, but it's clearly increasing.
No, yeah, it's terrible. One client said it seems to be almost the cost of doing business nowadays. We are working with other exchanges to see whether there's overlap in events that happened at other platforms, but we can't conclude yet where it's coming from with 100% certainty. So it's difficult for me to pinpoint the reason why this is happening or why this particular one has happened versus the others. I think it's a terrible trend, and we're doing all we can to prevent it. But we are on chain, as in the platform, and any platform is linked to the blockchain to enable deposits and withdrawals, which is a vulnerability. So if you want fast deposits and withdrawals, there is a risk of this stuff happening, sadly.
Is there any way to track where the funds have gone? I mean, it's on the blockchain, so you
can see exactly where they are.
It's anonymous.
So we've shared the addresses where the funds are, and if they start moving, anyone can track them. It's fully transparent, and it's that's on one side that's the benefit, but it's also difficult to let's say keep ownership because it's outside of our reach. You can see it, but you can't touch it.
Were the hot wallets fully drained when they did this hack?
Yeah. So it was done quickly. It was within minutes. The 3 wallets were drained. So it's a one-time effort, and the wallets were drained in one go.
You don't make prices right now. One cannot get a price on Deribit.
We do. We keep on trading.
The only
thing that's impacted. Okay. Yeah, the only thing impacted is the wallets itself, and we aim to open up those later today. We've been working on a new solution anyway, so we've had a partial implementation of the, let's say, final solution already in place, and which we plan to extend to the full wallet range. But the trading is not impacted, so people keep on trading like a usual day. The only difference would be deposits and withdrawals.
What can be learned from this? Is there anything different that could have been done to prevent something like this, or what do you hope to change to prevent something like this going forward?
We will share a full incident review once it's final. We will review all policies and procedures going forward once the full approach has been determined. What can you learn is that all of us have to be extremely vigilant, and we were quite proud that this never happened to us. And we've been around since 2016, which seems like a few years ago, but it's almost ancient when you compare it to the crypto platforms. So we've never been compromised before, but sadly also for us, there's a first to everything.
So you're based in Panama. What authorities are you engaging to help you try to track down and recover the funds? Is it just Panamanian authorities or any other countries that you're working with?
No, we're looking to see what we can do on a global scale.
All right.
Do you know who would that include? Do you think?
We are working with a third-party agent, so we also rely on their advice. So we are because the assets are not held at a particular location. It's difficult to say you have to work with a certain regulator from a certain country because this regulator won't be able to do anything. So until we've identified the full approach and hopefully some more details about the hack itself, we can't actively do something yet.
But definitely the Panamanians have been involved. The Panamanian authorities have been involved at all?
Not yet.
Not yet.
No, not yet.
So no authorities have been involved yet.
Not yet. So we are working with the third-party agent, as mentioned, and right. Thus far we have not reached out to authorities. We're also open to treat this as a white hat solution. So if the hacker is able or willing to come forward, we might be persuaded to.
Any word from them?
No.